Happy Virgo season and happy new moon in the sign of Virgo. Let's go into our placements for today. So today the sun is in Virgo, currently at the 2nd degree. We have the moon in Taurus, Mercury in Leo, Venus in Virgo, Mars in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, Pluto in Aquarius, North Node in Aries, and we also have our Lilith in Libra and our Chiron in Aries. As far as the planets that are currently retrograde, they are Mercury, currently retrograde in Leo, Saturn, currently retrograde in Pisces, Neptune at the 29th degree, currently retrograde in Pisces. Somebody's dreams are about to come true in a big way. I'm excited for you. Pluto, currently retrograde in Aquarius at 0 degree. And we also have our North Node in Aries retrograde. And of course, our Chiron is currently retrograde as well. So let's get into some of the dates that you might want to jot down over the next couple of weeks, just so you're prepared for some of these changes. On August 28th, we have Mercury going direct. So Mercury retrograde will be a thing of the past. On August 29th, Libra is going to be giving a warm hug to Venus. So Venus is at home in Libra, so romance and pure love is going to be back on the table. Uranus retrograde is going to be going from September 1st all the way to January of 2025. So we have another planet that's been added to our retrograde rotation as we enter this retrograde season. We have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn as of September 1st. Mars in Cancer, September 4th. And as you know, Mars is debilitated in Cancer because Mars is about war and aggression. Ruled by Aries and Scorpio, Cancer simply cannot compete with the energy of Aries and Scorpio. So there will be some implications for that. For those of you who have Mars at the Sun, Moon, and Rising, we can talk some more about that a little later. We also have Mercury in Virgo on 9/9. On September 17th, we have a lunar eclipse in Pisces coinciding with the full moon. So that's going to be a very interesting time to revisit our dreams as we continue this conversation with Neptune retrograde, right? As you know, Mars is currently in Gemini, so it's still a great idea to avoid arguments. As you know, Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So this is not a good time to try to hash out things and misunderstandings that you've had with anyone because it's only going to get worse, okay? When our planet of communication is going retrograde, we do not want to revisit. We do not want to inquire. We do not want to open up old fights because old fights being reopened means new fights, okay? It doesn't mean resolution. So during Mercury retrograde, if you have prominent Gemini or Virgo placements, it's best to avoid communication that is by default not clear or consistent. The theme for this new moon is how do I create stability for myself in my life while maintaining a sense of flexibility. And that is precisely what makes Virgo amazing when they are high functioning because they know precisely when to turn the page while keeping their stability. And the Virgos that are not good at it, you can always tell because they go through drastic changes that are vastly unhealthy for themselves and everyone else around them. So when a Virgo's balanced, they're a little bit like clay, meaning that they know how to mold themselves into who they need to become in order to feel fulfilled and satisfied with their life choices. A healthy Virgo is God's gift to earth because these people are natural helpers, they're natural givers, they're excellent at diagnosing a problem, excellent at coming up with a treatment plan for how to respond to said problem, and they're very, very patient with their goals. It's not about getting it done fast for Virgo, it's about doing it right and doing it to perfection. The level of devotion and art and focus that they put into everything they do is truly admirable. All of us are being called to examine how we can use this energy to better our lives. How do we receive, share, and process new information? As Mercury retrograde is still going on, I'm sure some of you have had an opportunity to reflect on previous conversations you've had that were not delightful, that were not very demure. So it's an opportunity to learn how do we relate to one another via communication and how do we improve our ability to communicate to get our needs met. I'm going to say something that women are going to be distraught by, but it's time for each one of you, women, men, they, them, to put yourself first. Virgo new moon is asking you to take charge and control of your life, to be aware of the messages that are coming from outside that are trying to control you, manipulate you, use you for your goods and give you nothing in return, to be aware of that dynamic and to purposely choose the option that gives you the most access to power, resources, stability, and flexibility. It's about doing it on your terms. All mutable zodiac signs are here to do it on their terms. So you don't play their game, you make them play yours. No more compromising, no more playing footsies, no more millie-mouthing. You're going to demand what you deserve and you're going to own your seat on that throne. Your life is yours alone. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to do it for you. If you're an adult, it is your responsibility to own your choices. Retrograde is about reflecting on our choices and owning some of those terrible choices by learning from them so that we're equipped to make better decisions in the future. Mars in Gemini right now is working beautifully with Aries North Node as well as a Chiron in Aries. This is a wonderful time to heal. For those of you that want to manifest a better life, it's a wonderful time to heal old patterns, recognize old patterns and heal them, as well as boldly and fearlessly moving forward towards your goals. Okay? This is a time to heal our relationship with masculinity. This is what Chiron in Aries and Aries North Node is doing for us. So when you bring the fighting power of Gemini, which is all brain power, we recognize very critically that the decisions that we're making may or may not be serving our best interests. And Virgo new moon is saying, take a minute to analyze that, to parse that apart, to spell it out, and to gather the truth. It's about having a critical eye and questioning the information you're receiving to ensure that it is accurate, that it's usable, and that it can actually foster a better outcome to your entire life. Virgo is invested in creating a good product, and a good product is a life well lived. So for Virgo, that requires dedication and commitment. And the object of your dedication and commitment under the new moon in Virgo is you, my dear. It's your time. It's your time to take center stage. It's your time to be the boss. It's your time to be in charge. No more compromising. That's done. Venus in Virgo is opposing Neptune retrograde in Pisces, so it's time to be sober. It's time to be critical. It's time to be precise about what it is that you desire out of your life and to have a clear picture of that so you're able to successfully mold the life that you currently have with that in mind. Expect major changes in the areas of romance and finance based on new information that you receive. This is going to be even more amplified once we have the next lunar transit in Pisces, because all that is hidden is going to come to the surface. Venus in Virgo is also playing very well with Taurus Uranus, so it's about clarifying what is going to help me progress, what is for me, what is for my success, what is for my future, and what is for my past. As you know, Aquarius is a karmic. Karma is about the past. People who cannot manifest a new future are people who are often oblivious to the fact that they've been living the same life for the last 40 years. So these are often people that don't examine their lives, they take no critical opinion about themselves, they're not willing to dissect themselves under their own kind of microscope and make the necessary adjustments to what needs to change so that they can get closer to their goal. Uranus is asking for progress, for forward motion, for evolution, and that's Aquarius energy. So Uranus's impact is heightened right now because this new moon in Virgo is coming at the 11th degree, which is the Aquarian degree. So a lot of karmic energy that's forcing us to look back, figure out what doesn't work, what didn't work, so we can move forward in a smarter and better, cleaner, more clear direction about our future. The last full moon that we had in Aquarius with Mercury retrograde has certainly brought a lot of things to light for ourselves that we didn't even know. This is a wonderful time to reflect on some of that information and incorporate that into this new mold that we're crafting for our future self. Who will be the most impacted? It's going to be the mutables. Virgo with our sister Pisces, Gemini with their sister Sagittarius. Look at your astrology natal chart. Look at every placement where you have these signs or the degrees of these signs, and expect to see those areas as wonderful places of manifestation. To manifest with Virgo energy, you need both intellect, because Virgo cannot function without intellect, and stability. So that is what we're aspiring to gain. We want to marry what we know to be true because we're smart. We can review information and throw to the side what doesn't benefit us, what isn't useful to us, and incorporate what does help us, so that we can create more stability for ourselves, both financially and in the department of love. That is what this new moon is bringing. Changes with finance and money, as well as friendships and connections and social connections, relationships with others that are non-romantic in nature. How are you feeling? Are you enjoying the content so far? If so, I've got more great content for you. My main YouTube channel is called Intuitive Healing. There, I teach general information about astrology. If you wish to use the secrets embedded in your astrology natal chart to manifest the life of your dream, you want to follow my Astrology Weekly podcast. You can listen to it on Spotify. I produce weekly episodes. It also has a corresponding YouTube channel called Astrology Weekly Podcast that you can follow, and make sure to turn on the notification bell. If you want some hands-on support with manifestation, you can join my manifestation group on Patreon. It is a free group. However, some of the posts are only for paid members. If you wish to incorporate healing crystals into your manifestation process, you can go to styledunder.com to shop your favorite sustainable fashion accessories and healing crystals. And lastly, remember to follow us on social media Intuitive Healing on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads. And on Facebook, we are Styled Under. So stop by, subscribe, follow, like, comment, share, and be social. Now let's get into how each zodiac sign is going to be affected. If you are an Aries rising, this falls for you in the 6th house. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo. Virgo is all about health, fitness, wellness, being analytical, pets, work habits, organization, and a sense of usefulness, meaning a sense of service towards others. If you're Aries rising, it's time for you to adjust to some changes that you've made with commitments in the past. Maybe you overcommitted yourself and you're no longer able to sustain that. Maybe you undercommitted yourself in one particular area and it's time for you to up that commitment. The area where Aries rising most likely undercommitted themselves is with regards to their own personal desires, okay? It's never going to be perfect, Aries rising. No matter what you do, it's never going to feel perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about finding joys in the little moments of life and allowing those little moments to nourish our souls. This tension that you have between giving to others and giving to yourself is only a source of frustration because you expect to strike a balance that is unattainable. And that is precisely the issue with unevolved Virgo. Unevolved Virgo is obsessed with perfection, in ways that are unsustainable. So it's time for you to free yourself from this dichotomy, which is I'm either at the mercy of others or I'm a selfish, and really embrace the fact that sometimes we give more to others and sometimes we give more to ourselves, and that's okay. And it never feels like 50-50 and it's perfect. The goal for you is to create a routine with your life that allows you to enhance your overall well-being and to make sure that you're keeping pieces in your life that contribute to that, to your wellness, to your mental health, to your emotional health, to your physical health. How's your fitness routine, Aries rising? Aries rising that is not working out, I'm concerned about them because I know they're not doing well. When was the last time you were at the gym? It's time for you to get back to taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. If you are Taurus rising, it's time for you to increase your confidence. This falls for you in the 5th house, which is a house ruled by Leo. It's time for you to find ways to enjoy the pleasures of life. One thing about Leo is they're going to have fun, okay? You may not want to have fun, and that's fine. Leo doesn't need you to have fun, but they need you to know that they're going to have fun. They're not going to turn down for you. They're not going to dim their light for you. They're not going to play small for you. And you can take it as cockiness if you want. That's fine. You can call them whatever name you want. Egotistical, that's fine. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to have fun. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to do them. A Leo is going to be a Leo. It doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter who feels a certain way about it. It is what it is. You can take it however you want. And oftentimes, people who have low self-esteem anyways, when they see people with high self-esteem, they think it's a bad thing. They're like, oh my God, you're so arrogant. No, I love myself. I'm not arrogant. I love myself. You're supposed to love yourself too. Me loving myself doesn't take anything from you. Me loving myself doesn't mean anything about you. It's about me and me. I have a healthy relationship with me. You're supposed to cultivate a healthy relationship with you. The problem with Taurus rising is that they don't want to do that work of assessing what's going on in their life, in their background, in their family of origin that's keeping them from feeling good about themselves. So instead, they decide to outsource this confidence into things. They're like, if I have the Prada bag, then I will be worthy. If I have the Cartier bracelet, then I'll be worthy. If I have the Van Cleef earrings, then I'll be worthy. And they think that's high self-esteem, having expensive things, because they don't want to do the work. So they'll rather put things over the insecurities. And this new moon in Virgo is asking you to go back to who you are and to embrace your confidence based on who you are, not what you have. Creativity. Find it. Sex, have more of it. Delightful desserts, foods, enjoy them. Travels, have them. Escapades, romances, dive deep in and fulfill your soul. Life is here to be enjoyed. Let's enjoy it. If you are Gemini rising, it's time for you to evaluate how the toxicity of your childhood has created the life that you live now. You know, you might feel more critical towards your family of origin during this time, since this new moon has, you know, some elements of karmic energy attached to it. And as you know, karma is about our ancestors. So you may be more in awe of the different family dynamics that are at play here because of the toxicity of your own family. It's okay for you to make yourself aware of that truth and to be more in tune with that clarity of vision. But with that in mind, which is what I'm sure the last full moon brought to you, it's time for you to think about what kind of life you want to create for yourself now. Now that you know this about your family of origin, what kind of life do you want for yourself? Sometimes your family of origin are only your relatives, but not your family. If you do not feel at home with your relatives, it is your responsibility to find a new family. And a family is supposed to be the place where you feel loved, secure, emotionally safe, and stable. If your birth family does not give you that, you have to find it within yourself and within other people. But here's the thing, you're never going to find it in other people until you find it in yourself, because energy is only reflected. You know, when we talk about manifestation, people and things that vibrate at the same frequency are naturally attracted to each other. So if you're in a dumps and you're trying to be happier, then you have to be happier before you meet happy people, because happy people do not want to mix with people that live in the dumps. They're not the same. So you have to raise your vibration after you've recognized what the problem is, and then choose something different, choose something better, choose what makes you feel safe. But it is on you to create that. It's not enough to just point the finger and judge. You actually have to do something. And that's what Virgo is very good at. They fix their own problems. Virgo does not depend on anybody to take care of them but Virgo. And that's why I love them. Moving on to Cancer rising. Cancer, I know this is a very stressful time for you with relationships, with basically, you know, replaying conversations that you've had with relationships. You're having a lot of aha moments about relationships, lack of boundaries, and how communication that other people have given you has led to you making decisions that were not in your best interest. It's time for you to pull back your energy from others and work on your emotional boundaries. The communication that other people give you should always be fact-checked, no matter how long you've known people. You shouldn't act on what other people tell you anyways without you fact-checking it. Because what happens is when you love somebody, you no longer hold them accountable. And that can get you into trouble. And I need you to love yourself enough to hold yourself accountable to the information that you're receiving, to fact check it for yourself, so that the decision that you're making as a result of having that communication is on you. You want to own your decisions. That means we don't get to blame other people when we make bad decisions. And the good way to ensure we don't blame other people is to take responsibility. So that means I own my feelings, I own my thoughts, and I own my behavior. It's time for you to expand in that area. Ask yourself, where is your level of emotional intelligence and what do you need to do to increase it? Leo rising, this falls for you in the second house. The second house is about our resources. The second house is also about money, work, income, daily routines, things that we consider valuable, material possessions, valuables that we've collected over time, priorities, habits, our work ethic. Leo, it's time for you to think about your money. Where is it? Where did it go? Do you have enough of it? How is it allocated? Do you have a budget? How do you generate more money with the money that you currently have? This is going to feel very stressful for you because the thing about you, Leo, is that you like the big picture, but Virgo likes the nitty-gritty. So you're going to have a lot of realizations about your money that will be very shocking to you once you start analyzing your expenses. I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to not overreact. Remember, money is an energy. We attract more of it when we want to, when we're ready for it. Money can be attracted, money can be released. Just because your situation is where it is now doesn't mean it will be there forever. Anything can change overnight, but it's never going to get better until you take control of your finances. Organize, commit to new ventures, let go of ventures that are not financially rewarding. I want you to read the fine prints. I want you to look at the facts. I want you to look at your bank statements. I want you to look at your purchases. I want you to make smart, educated decisions about how your funds are being allocated. And then I want you to ask yourself if your current spending habits are in harmony with your future goals. If the answer is no, what needs to change? I want you to focus on that. Virgo rising, this is your party. Yay! I'm so happy for you. Guess what? This is all about you. Now, Virgo, I have a question for you. Okay? Hear me out. Have you realized that you are the most stable person, consistent person, and solid person that you know? Have you realized yet that you're the most consistent person that you know? I want you to stop relying on other people or taking other people's opinions about your life decisions into the mix. It's time for you to focus on where you want to go with your life and to own your choices. Look at how far you've come. Look at how hard you've worked to get where you're at. Look at everything you had to overcome to be the person that you are today. Don't ever downplay that, because that was a lot of hard work that you did by yourself. Even though you're surrounded by people, none of them actually help you. You're the one that gives it all to them. I need you to stop doing that. Saturn is currently retrograde in Pisces, so this is your villain era. I need you to stop being people's freaking, mule. You're not a mule. Separate yourself from the crowd. You're the star that does all the work and gets none of the credit. I need you to stop that pattern. Get your credit. Brag about your accomplishments. You're doing it. You're doing the hard work. You deserve the accolades. And yes, when you're proud of yourself and you feel good about yourself and you talk about your accolades, you're going to trigger people's insecurities. They will be jealous. They will be hateful. They will be looking to project their insecurities back to you. They will be looking to throw dirt your way. Let them do it. It doesn't matter. This is not about them. This is about you and your life. What do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to go? Where do you see your life 5 years from now? Focus on your needs. Do not split the difference. Stop being accommodating. It's done. Nobody accommodates you. Why should you accommodate them? Love is about give and take. Self-love is about only giving to those who give to you. People who don't love themselves often give excessively to those who don't return that same energy. I need you to keep that balance in check. Get a new haircut. Get some new clothes. Get a new personality. Own your power. Get out of the shadows. Nobody benefits from you playing small. The world needs all of your light. I need you to shine it bright like Times Square so we can all marvel at how you do what you do, because you are spectacular. You're spectacular. You're the hardest working zodiac sign, and you're the quietest. I need you to start bragging. I need you to start owning your power. Of course, you're never going to be like Leo when I say bragging, because Leo doesn't mind, and we love that about Leo. But I need you to stop playing small just because other people are intimidated. So what? Let them. Libra, for you, this falls in your 12th house. It's a time, Libra, for you to really do some digging, okay? As you know, the 12th house is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter by Pisces. The 12th house in astrology is about karma. Since this new moon in Virgo also has a karmic energy to it, with it being at the Aquarian degree, you're going to be dealing with a lot of karma in your relationships, your friendships in particular, and you're going to have to own some of the decisions that you've made. You know, like, do you know who you are, Libra rising? Do you like who you are? What do you need to change in your life for you to like who you are? I need you to stop playing victim. You're nobody's victim. You're a master manipulator, if anything. I need you to learn from your past mistakes and embrace the lessons that you've learned from karma. This 11th degree is about karma. So when it falls in your 12th house, you're going to be dealing with a lot of karma. Be a leader. Be selfish. Be brave. Own your decisions. Let people be mad. It's okay. They'll get over it. They're grown. You're not their mother. It's time to let go of the people-pleasing victim mentality. You're not a victim. Stop it. You're not a child. Stop it. Nobody made you do it. Stop it. You did it because you wanted to. Own it. Now it's time for you to reflect on why you did it and what benefit you got out of it. And is there a way for you to get that benefit without harming others? That's really what it's about. Karma is about, how do I get my needs met without harming other people? Is there a way for me to find this balance between pleasing myself and pleasing other people, where pleasing myself does not come to the detriment of others? That's really what karma is about. Karma is not a bad thing. Karma is a teacher, and it's a teacher that actually helps you manifest your dreams. Many of you, unfortunately, don't like learning lessons, so you keep replaying the same thing over and over again. You know, I used to work as a therapist, as you guys know, before becoming an astrologer. And as a therapist, it was not uncommon for me to meet clients that were reliving the same story over years. These people will break up with one person and then get with another person who's exactly like the last person, just different name, different face. Because the lessons that they need to learn about love, they're refusing to learn them, so they keep reenacting it. Libra, you're ruled by Venus. I want better for you. I want you to find joy, satisfaction in life. I want you to find pleasure, wealth, beauty, access to resources that bring ease into your life, but that comes with aligning with truth. 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 God is the light. God is the truth. God is love. We cannot move forward without truth. So it requires that you be willing to tell yourself the bitter truths of life about yourself so you can make those adjustments and grow from it. Scorpio rising, it's time to be picky with your associates and your friends. You're supposed to have an exclusive access only anyways as a Scorpio. Maybe you've let some hoodlums and you know what, enter your circle who don't deserve to be there. It's time for you to see if the people in your current circle are good for you. Are they good for your emotional well-being? Are they good in the sense that they help foster your sense of belonging, your sense of community? If you're in a circle of people who do not share the same values as you, who the same ethics as you, I need you to know that that is going to create some problems in the long run. Some people may choose to bring their bad vibes your way. It's up to you to pick who you want to allow in your circle and who you don't. You need to stop letting people treat you like an ATM where they come and they make withdrawals and withdrawals and withdrawals and they make no deposits. If the people in your circle do not deposit into your ATM and do not bring good vibes, do not bring encouragement, spirituality, love, true and genuine friendship, why do they get the privilege of speaking to you? You need to make them disappear ASAP. Sagittarius rising, this falls for you in the 10th house. Now, the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is all about legacy work. What is the impact that you leave behind when you're dead? Sagittarius, the energy, money, and connections that you're putting into other people, are they putting them back into you? I need you to stop being overly generous. Just because you have it doesn't mean you need to give it. Sometimes the answer is no, because you need to preserve what you have for when you need it, should you need it. But the thing is, you don't ever think about should you need it. You just think about, I have it now. You need it, I'll give it to you. And that's why everybody loves you. But have you noticed that when you're in the dumps, nobody's there for you? Have you noticed that when you need help, it's hard for people to come and help you out? Have you noticed that the generosity that you so freely give away is hardly ever given to you in return? Why do you think that is? What is the purpose of your life, Sagittarius? What are you here to accomplish? How are you using your resources to accomplish your said purpose? How are you using your resources to create the life of your dreams? How are you molding your life in accordance with your vision? That is what you're here to focus on. It's not about the thrill of the moment. It's about what is your big vision about your life, and how do you allocate your resources precisely to respond to those needs. Your reputation is very important. I need you to be more mindful of it. Capricorn rising, for you this falls in the 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius. The 9th house is about education. It's about spirituality. So some questions for you to reflect on. What don't you know? What else do you need to learn? What can you do to expand your consciousness, your vision, your understanding of the world, your understanding of what you're creating on earth, your understanding of your family of origin, and how those stories may be affecting your current relationship. Capricorn, it's time for you to open your mind to new realities. You're going to be embarking on a spiritual journey with this new moon in Virgo, and it will be a time of reflection for you. Typically in astrology, a full moon is a time to plant new seeds, but for you, it will also have an energy of the old. It would also have an energy of karma attached to it, because you are a karmic ruled by Saturn, and this new moon is at the Aquarian degree, which is also ruled by Saturn. So family history, family tradition, family traumas, all of those are going to come to the surface. I want you to be willing to go on this ride of discovering how your current pain is rooted in your ancestors' pain, and how you can choose a new ending to your family story. So it's about, how do I enrich my life with more education so I can create a different life for my family? It might be going back to college. It might be getting a new certification. It might be joining a church. It might be reading spiritual books. It might be getting into self-help books. Whatever it is, it's time to put in some work to massage that brain, grow that brain, read more, learn more, expand your consciousness and expand your intellect so that you are a more well-balanced individual. What you know is not going to take you to the future. The future requires that you know something new, and as a result of that, you have to commit yourself to digging. Okay? And the things that you find will only make you stronger, even if sometimes it's a bit painful to look at it. All right? It might be time to call a therapist. Just think about it. Moving on to Aquarius. For Aquarius rising, for you this falls in the 8th house. It's time to examine your sex life, your fears, your taboos, your fear of death, shame, and previous trauma. Much like Capricorn, for you this also has a karmic influence. It's time for you to learn from pain. The 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, and one of the things that Scorpio does best is that they're able to take their pain and turn it into power. Because Scorpio knows true power is within. It's not something you require. It's not something that is given to you. It's something that you have. So nobody can take it from you because it doesn't come from things. When Taurus is unevolved, they think power comes from luxurious things and money and resources. When Scorpio is unevolved, they think the same. But, Scorpio is supposed to be the older, mature version of Taurus. So an evolved Scorpio is supposed to know that, Gucci bags and Louis Vuitton bags and Cartier necklaces and jewelry and Hermes necklaces and jewelry is nice, but that does not define you. Because what defines you is you. You are your business card. You and your entire energy is your business card. How do you feel about your past? How do you feel about your family dynamics? How do you feel about the stories you've had to overcome on your own to become the woman and the man or the them that you are today? What kind of life are you creating out of all that pain? How can you use that pain to bless the collective? These are the questions for you to consider, especially since this new moon is happening with your energy. This is going to have a huge impact for your family as well as your friends. So you detoxifying yourself from hang-ups that are holding you trapped in the past is very important, because Aquarius is leading us into a new future. Unlike all the other zodiac signs, Aquarius was the only one given Uranus, and Uranus is about evolution, progress, moving forward, science, experimentation, aviation. It's about taking it to the maximum. This is why Aquarius is the intellect of the zodiac. We're not going to get there until we introduce new concepts, new ideas, until we're willing to examine things from a different perspective and learn something new. You're supposed to use that pain that you have endured to teach people about what it looks like to overcome with grace. Okay? It's not about shame. It's about overcoming with grace. And nobody overcomes like you do. This is why I love it when they underestimate you, because you always come out so cool, calm, and collected and blow it out of the park. So I need you to kill parts of yourself that are not aligning with this new truth. And the truth is, yes, you've been through hell, but look at you now. So think about where you could go and align your vision with that. Pisces rising, for you this falls in the 7th house, so it's an invitation to examine your marriage and your business relationships. Again, Virgo new moon is about reading the fine prints. It's about clearly, in a sober mind, examining what parts of my life are bringing me the same energy I'm giving it, what parts of my life are beneficial to my overall health and wellness, and what parts of my life are not. It's time for you to decide what kind of life you want to have, both in your marriage and your business partnership. It's time to get paid what you deserve. That balance between give and take needs to be evened out. If it's not even currently, you need to set some intentions around that if that's not the case as of now. This period for you is going to be a period of self-improvement. It's about letting go of old habits. You're going to be struggling to let go of old patterns, but I want you to push forward. I want you to be brave enough to demand more of yourself. And what's on the other side of that is bliss, it's fulfillment, it's satisfaction, it's harmony. The 7th house is ruled by Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is a planet of love, abundance, wealth, health, beauty, arts. Who doesn't love those things? A dead person. All of us want more of those things. Well, acquiring more of those things require that you be willing to let go of what doesn't align with those things and embrace what does align with it. So if you're in your current marriage or if you're in your current business partnerships, you're not getting back the loving energy you're pouring out, it's time to revisit them. And if you have not been giving out loving energy back from the love that you've been taking in, it's time to also address that. All relationships require work, and both parties have to be willing to give and take equally for that to work. Now, I'm not saying that all the time it's going to be 50-50, but I'm saying there needs to be a continuous pattern of giving and taking. A person who's not willing to text you back is somebody you cannot build a relationship with because they don't want to communicate. So I need you to be very clear about what behaviors lend to having good relationships and what behaviors do not. And I need you to be direct in asking for what you want and uncompromising with that. I need you to let go of the passive aggressive behavior and the poor communication, the codependency. All of that is unproductive. From now on, Virgo energy is we take responsibility for our lives, we take responsibility for ourselves. So we own our life choices by asking for what we want. We're direct, we're clear, we're precise. We want what we want and we ask for it and we clarify what we want. We don't send psychic messages to people about what we want. We use our mouths like grown-ups and ask for what we want. And we trust that the love that we have for them will cause them to return the same energy. And if people are not returning it, then that's all you need to know. So move on. So let's summarize. Aries for you to 6th house, Taurus, 5th house, Gemini, 4th house, Cancer, 3rd house, Leo, 2nd house, Virgo, 1st house, Libra, 12th house, Scorpio, 11th house, Sagittarius, 10th house, Capricorn, 9th house, Aquarius, 8th house, and Pisces, 7th house. A new moon in astrology is a time to create new realities by coming up with a new vision for our lives and locking in. I need you to lock in. I need you to get locked into what it is that you want for yourself 5 years from now. I need you to be like this with it, okay? That means you're not getting distracted by anything to the left, anything to the right. You're just focused on what it is that you're seeking. And what you're seeking is also seeking you. I need you to know that you deserve the very best, and the very best is also attracted to you if you know that you deserve the very best. What you want also wants you back. That's why manifestation is really about focusing on clarifying for the universe what we want. Virgo is very particular because they know the devil is in the details. You've heard it before, the devil is in the details. What does that mean? It's not enough to give us big picture, which is what the fire signs love to do. You know, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, they love the big picture. Virgo needs you to get inside the house and parse it out one by one. Okay, Virgo needs you to get into the weeds of the task and to get very specific about what's working and what's not working. The best way to manifest with the new moon is to set intentions around these areas that we just talked about. Around these houses, I need you to set a goal for yourself and to really embody this energy of that goal. Okay? I want you to become that goal. I want you to live it out loud. I want you to rewire your brain and your mechanics to align with your vision. Manifestation is easy when the things that we say we want and the behaviors that we're displaying and the energy that we bring to our lives are in harmony. As an example, if I say I want to be a happy person, then I need to be feeding my mind with happy things. I need to surround my friends. My friends and my lovers need to be happy people. I need to keep negative people at bay, and I need to engage in activities that bring more joy and happiness into my life. You see how that works? When you get in that vibration and you commit to it, no matter what's going on, the universe has no other choice but to keep giving you more of that which you want. Because when something comes that doesn't match happy, you just discard it immediately. Now, it doesn't mean life is going to be happy all the time, but you monitor your energy so you're not allowing it to get too low. You don't want to be too high or too low. You just want to be at peace. When you're at peace and you let go of the how, that's when it comes to you. Okay? So the best way to manifest with this new moon is via words because of the mercurial energy, and also via rituals that are rooted on earth. You know, if you can get your feet, you know, they always say go outside, touch grass. It's a perfect time to go outside and touch grass with your feet and manifest with the earth. Manifest with the earth. I'll say it again, manifest with the earth, because it has a karmic energy to it. It may involve burial. Do a burial ritual and also do a sprouting ritual. Okay? So manifest with the earth because Virgo is about the earth. So we say the intentions out loud and we follow that with the behaviors to keep it grounded. I hope this was helpful. That's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Astrology Weekly podcast, and I'll catch you again in a couple of weeks for our next lunar transit. That's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Astrology Weekly podcast. Head over to our YouTube channel at Astrology Weekly and subscribe. You can join our private manifestation group on Patreon at Intuitive Healing. You may also purchase a confidential astrology reading on Patreon if you would like to have more intimate time with me. I provide individual as well as relationship compatibility readings. I'll catch up with you in 2 weeks for another podcast. Wishing you a happy new moon in the sign of Virgo. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.